On the run, the lioness was nearly gored in the throat by a buffalo. She barely escaped with her. When the invaders threatened again, she rose and led her sisters to, using her battle-scarred body to stand her ground. She is the queen of the pride and a fearless mother defending her cubs. In Zimbabwe's Malalang Wildlife Reserve lies a blessed land, the territory of the Ndona lion, with lush grass and flowing and prey every. It's the African equivalent of a 5-star resort. Guarding this territory is the legendary lioness Miley. Born here, raised here, and now the soul of this land. Under Miley's leadership, the Ndona pride hunts like a whale, firmly holding their place in the but tall trees catch. Neighboring nomadic males have long set their sights on this juicy. At the heart of the pride is Yambok, the only adult male lion. At 13, he's a grizzled old vet. He may be aging, but his strategy is simple: play it smart. Miley, fight the pride's MVP, respected elder sister, and the unshakable pillar of the pride. She has 3 cubs, 2 males, and that little girl's a serious mama's cub. Makshan, Miley's sister, raises 2 smaller cubs of. Together, the sisters have lived 10 years of deep lion faith, but their peace is shattered by 2 unfamiliar roars. 2 brash young nomadic males storm into their territory. Yambok quickly counts all 11 cubs, one of which is currently giving a buddy a pea shower bath. Miley climbs to high ground, switching into scout mode. The 2 ambitious rogue brothers creep in, drawn by the scent of lionesses. They greedily sniff the ground, searching for their twisted grins, making them look like drunken fools in heat. Yambok senses danger instantly and begins pacing his usual patrol route with urgency. As the last ray of sunlight dips below the young invaders drop their cover. They erase Yambok's scent marks and let out loud, bold roars of challenge, piercing the silent savannah. That roar was a declaration of war, signaling the start of a bloody power shift. The pride immediately enters high alert. All the lions roar as one, trying to overwhelm the enemy with sheer volume. Even Miley's daughter is baffled by this fierce uproar. Miley, who was supposed to hunt, stays behind to protect the cubs. But even a queen can't fight 20. The intruders temporarily back down. They sneak away with the pride's kill, saving some small win for the bull. At this tense moment, Miley makes a bold choice to hunt alone and runs straight into the rogue brothers. The moment they see this fearless lioness, the brothers fall into instant. But Miley shuts it down with a clear triple rejection. Not interested. Back off or get whacked. Unbelievably, she took on both males by herself and sent them running. But getting beaten only fired the they held no grudge. In fact, They became even more obsessed with this fierce lioness queen. Love-fueled territorial war is destined to bathe the grassland in blood once again. As the first rays of dawn pierced the dark savanna, the Dona pride woke to the sounds of the plains. Miley was the first to rise, frost on her brown fur brushed off. But the moment she caught the scent of the rogue lions nearby, the two young beasts patrolled the border, keeping Yambok cornered. All he could do was fixate on the nearby buff, the most dangerous prey of all. A single bull outweighs a lion 5. Those horns have gutted countless hunters before. But the genes of a buffalo killer run deep in Yum. Even going solo, reckless, he still went all in. Thankfully, backup came from behind Imagsha, and the lionesses flanked the herd. But the startled buffalo stomped and kicked up dust, their massive black backs like a moving fortress. The lions had no choice but to wait for nightfall. But these young lions had never hunted buffalo before, and the rogue male's scent was creeping ever closer. To keep the cubs safe, Maksha led a few of them into early, but Miley stood her ground, still facing a lone buffalo, until Yambok finally appeared. The old Lion King rushed to her, but was quickly stalled by the buffalo's defensive wall. By now, Miley was spent. She could only watch from the side as the buffalo advanced step by step, and Yambok's rage flared in the failing light. They knew this hunt was no longer about food. At dawn, the rogue brothers crept closer. Just as the pride chased down another, they brazenly marched into the heart of Yambok's territory to steal the kill. The snarls in their throats were sharp and poisonous. This wasn't hunger-driven theft. It was a bold, naked show of dominance. Yet Yambok hesitated, unwilling to face and seeing his cowardice, Miley made a decision. She kissed Maksha gently on the nose, licked the sleep from her cub's eyes, then turned and walked away without a word. Her 3 clingiest cubs instantly, the crunch of their paws on dry twigs woke the older cub. Then came the second, and the third. Even Maksha's 2 cubs clumsily joined the exodus. 8 tiny figures followed behind Miley in a long, like dandelions blown by the wind, disappearing into the folds of the grassland. Miley didn't know when their exile was, only that she had to lead them away from the shadow of death. The pride had lost its fiercest hunter and half its cubs. Yambok stayed behind with and just 3 cubs, guarding a crumbling kingdom. When the rogue brothers roared through the haze, the old warrior took a he inhaled the scent of grass, blood, and time itself. He faced his challengers with all the pride, his mane billowed in the wind like a war banner. But with the first clash, he was thrown to the ground. The young male's claws tore through his flesh. His roars drowned in the whisper of the grass. The battle ended so quickly, as Yambok limped out of the territory. Twilight crept across the edge of the twilight stretched his shadow thin, like a gray scar torn by fading light. He turned back to glance at the familiar ground where his queen once stood, and his cubs, where he had fought to protect his kingdom. Now, all that remained were wisps of brown fur drift and the roars of 2 new kings proclaiming their rule at the heart of his land. And so, the 13-year-old Lion King turned to face his shadow shrank with the last rays of light. until it vanished into the sable like the silent curtain full of